Breathe In, new film starring Felicity Jones, who you remember came on the programme to talk about her previous film with Drake Dreamers, Like Crazy. This is another sort of semi-improvised drama about the complexities of relationships. In the previous film, the story was it was a transatlantic relationship between her character and Anton Yelchin, they were sort of separated by immigration problems. In fact, it was interesting because Jennifer Lawrence played a secondary role. She was sort of like, the third leg in that triangle. This time, Felicity Jones plays a young music student, playing somebody who's a lot younger than she is, who goes across the Atlantic and is staying with the family of Guy Pearce, who is to some extent a frustrated musician who has now fallen into teaching. It's not something he particularly wants to do. It appears that his marriage is, if not in crisis, then in some form of stasis. And he is not at first not sure what to make of her. She is not interested in him at all. Here's a clip.
Sophie, you missed my class. Your reason for that?
I'm not going to be taking the class, so...
You're not going to take the class? Why not?
I've just been thinking about it, and I just don't think it's going to be the right thing for me to do.
You just changed your mind? Okay, well, look, you still need to come until your name's taken off the roster. We have to talk to Mr. Deakins and get it arranged. We have to get your name taken off. And we have
I spoke to Mr. Deakins this morning, and I made sure that it was okay.
Okay, well, you still need to come until he takes your name off the roster. It might take him a day or two to get it arranged.
He said it'd be taken off tonight.
He says a lot of things that don't necessarily happen. So, yeah. Okay, if it's not arranged for tomorrow, then just come to the class and it'll be arranged tomorrow.
Okay. But if it's not, I won't.
Yeah. Okay, don't be late.
So you can hear from that, I mean, it's very much the same sort of semi-improvisational tone as the previous film. Actually, the performances are all university good. Guy Pearce is great. Felicity Jones is absolutely terrific. All the supporting performances are very strong. The difference with this and Like Crazy is that to some extent what happens is obviously they start to have some kind of emotional bond, which to some extent they discover through music, and this begins to make them challenge the status quo in their lives. And to some extent the story is more cliched than we've seen before, because it's a younger woman and an older man, and you could kind of plan out the coordinates. And some people have made reference to, for example, a film like American Beauty, but the fact of the matter is it's much more of a cinematic cliche. The really interesting thing with Like Crazy was that it was investigating a situation that you hadn't seen loads and loads of times. Two young people being separated by immigration laws because one of them had overstayed. And I thought that was a better film. That said, this has very strong performances. I know some people find that kind of noodly, partially improvised style a little bit grating. I think it works very well here. I think the naturalism works. I think the problem is just that the setup itself isn't as involving, partly because it's doing something that that has more of an element of cliche about it.
Although, one moment, caller. Hold that thought. Mark, you're not on pause anymore.
That's fine. Well, listen, so essentially, it's good. It's not as good as Like Crazy, but Felicity Jones is really great.